incarnations are mentioned, one may, be thinking or be bewildered, why so many incarnations are mentioned? What is the purpose of listing all these incarnations? To substantiate and establish that Krishna is the fountainhead. This is another Srila Prabhupada's glorious contribution. Srila Prabhupada very emphatically established how Krishna is the fountainhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And all these incarnations, ete chamsa kalaha puncha. So all these incarnations, either they are expansions or the expansions of the expansions. Okay, so what was the query? What you wanted to know? There, Shil Prabhu. From previous verse, what was the discussion?
No, Prabhuji, just we wanted to discuss only.
Okay, so far we have discussed up till Matsya Avatar. Anyone remembers what was the first incarnation mentioned? What was the first incarnation? Quickly. Yes, Sonika.
It was 4 Kumar.
Very good. 4 Kumaras. What is the second? Devashish, what was the second incarnation? Krishna. भागवतम है आपके हाथ में या नहीं?
जी है प्रभु जी।
हाँ
है प्रभु जी।
है तो फिर उसमें देखिए वो किस लिए है? पढ़ने के लिए है ना। दूसरा इनकारनेशन क्या है प्रदीप प्रभु? What was the second incarnation?
वराह रूपम प्रभु जी, बोर।
Varaha Rupam. Okay. Third incarnation, Pranav. Quickly.
Narad Muni.
Yes. You should be knowing, you have studied. Where are you in your study now? You don't send me the study, but where are you now? In which canto?
Second canto, Prabhuji, but currently I am studying these verse only. Whatever
Again?
you are studying.
No, if you have to apply for initiation, you have to study both. You study this also as a revision, but you continue studying the second canto. At least first 3 cantos should have been studied. Then only you can apply for initiation. In so many years, it should have happened. Okay. What is the fourth incarnation? Purushottam. बोलिए आपके पास भागवत है ना?
Yes, sir. तो मैं अभी मेमोराइज करके बताता हूँ।
सुनने के बाद पढ़ना भी पड़ेगा। आज मेरे पास एक व्यक्ति आए थे, वो काफी बड़ी कंपनी के नेशनल हेड हैं। पिछले 2 महीने से 1 महीने से मुझसे संपर्क में है। तो मैंने उनको थोड़ा इंस्पायर किया भगवत गीता पढ़ने के लिए। तो उन्होंने पूरा इंट्रोडक्शन पढ़ा। डेली मुझे भेजते हैं उन्होंने क्या पढ़ा है। मैंने उनको ये कहा कि आप भेजते रहोगे तो पढ़ते रहोगे, अगर भेजोगे नहीं तो मुझसे लिखवा लो, आप कभी जीवन में नहीं पढ़ पाओगे। मैं ये बात आप सबको बोलता हूँ, लेकिन आप लोग में से बहुत कम सुनते हैं। उन्होंने पहले पूरा इंट्रोडक्शन पढ़ लिया, फिर then he studied the first chapter also. Now he has begun the second chapter. He told me मुझे कुछ ज्यादा समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, although academically he is quite qualified. I said, don't worry, you continue to read, and by reading you will come to realize that you need some guide. And when that desire, that sincere urge will come, then you will actually hear. Otherwise, you will never hear also. And once you have started to hear and you have developed interest, then you will start to read. And your reading will give you some meaning, some understanding. Otherwise, it will never come. So after hearing, you have to study. Hear, read, write, repeat. This is the 4-step formula if you want to understand Shastra. And if you try anything else, the result will remain the same. that neither you will be able to read, nor you will be able to hear, nor you will be able to speak. So what is the process? Bolo, Purushottam.
To read, write, hear.
No, gone wrong.
Sorry, hear, read, write, then teach.
Repeat. तो लिखते नहीं है, उनके दिल में, हृदय में कुछ घुसेगा नहीं. मुझसे लिखवा लो, कुछ नहीं घुसेगा. It will remain as blank as ever. Krishna wants to see how much eager we are and how much effort we are putting. Eagerness means efforts. Otherwise, it is just a show. There is no substance in it. So you have to accept it. The sooner you accept, the more you get the benefit. The more you try to find your own ways, experiment, you will be left. So the fourth incarnation is, बताओ, दिमाग पे अपने जोर डालो. Madan Sarup Prabhu, what is the fourth incarnation?
Narayan Prabhuji.
You are having Subodhini in your hand? Yes or no?
No.
You have Subodhini?
I have Subodhini, but right now not with me.
Okay. Don't use Subodhini. If you become a teacher, then use Subodhini. Otherwise, you will not study. Okay. What is the fifth incarnation, Priyanka? Yes, Priyanka, I'm asking you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The fifth incarnation, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Lord Kapila.
very good. She is sincere. Anyone knows the sixth incarnation? Speak. Of course. Yeah.
Dattatreya.
Yeah, Dattatreya. Who is Dattatreya?
जी ऋषि
Yeah, son of Rishi Atri, and mother is more renowned.
Anusuya.
Yeah, Anusuya. She had all three as her son. Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. As kids. There is another story. Some other time we'll speak. Okay, very good. Then anyone remembers the next incarnation? Seventh incarnation. Mentioned here. Manoram Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Yajna.
Yeah, Yajna. Who is Yajna? Yajna, you understand, is sacrifice. The demigod of personified sacrifice, Yajna. Who is the Yajna? Your writing has become, irregular now. Did you write on this incarnation, Yajna? No.
Yes, Prabhuji, written, but
Not shared.
remembering the things. I'm preparing the tabular form so that I can remember.
It remains the same. Hear, read, write, repeat. For you, what is repeating is your sharing. Are you preaching? Are you giving classes? No. Although you should be. But at least till the time you are not, then at least write and repeat. Share it. You will receive so much of blessings of those who are hearing and those who are reading. You become the recipient of their good wishes also. So why deprive yourself of that wishes? So don't allow your mind to dictate. Spend some 10 minutes. You have this gift. You can write very swiftly. So why you are discontinuing that practice? So many times I have told you not to do that. Even you, Sonika, I don't see your write-ups now coming. At least in this new year, I was expecting both of you will write. And you promised me that you will send your sadhana. So when you will practice.
Yes, Prabhuji, today I will send definitely.
First day is over, today is second. So please attempt. Yeah. In Kali Yuga, we are all conditioned, heavily conditioned. But what is the way out? Krishna says, abhyasa. Everywhere Krishna is saying abhyasa. In the 6th chapter, Krishna is saying abhyasa. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. And in the 8th chapter also, Krishna is saying abhyasa yoga yuktena. So how to not have the mind again and again being distracted is you have deep practice, intense practice, rigid practice. Okay, so please keep revising. Please keep reading. It will just take 5 to 7 minutes. We just covered 2-3 verses in one session. So just spend some 10-15 minutes in trying to read, in trying to revise, a little more in trying to write, and even read your notes. When you have weekend, you have at least Saturday or Sunday off, at least go through the notes of entire week. Whatever is the inspiration, write and share. It gives impetus to all others, those who are in the same forum. So I would request, as we said yesterday, that we should try to come out of our conditioning. The one most powerful way is Nityam Bhagavat Sevya. There is no powerful way than Nityam Bhagavat Sevya. Tada rajas tamo bhava kama lobha dayaschaya chetar etar anavriddhim stitham sattvam prasidati. We read those verses. So how to come into the platform of goodness is chetar etar anavriddhim. So our chetana will not become distracted, and we will be on the platform of goodness by continuously hearing, reading, writing and sharing. So please make that change in this year. I will also try as far as possible not to miss any class, irrespective of however difficult or compulsive it may be. At least we should try to do more than 350 classes out of 365 days. That will be a big standard. It will be how much? More than 90%? Who is very good in calculation? How much is 350 out of 365? Apart from being in yatras, when it is difficult to have class, who has the calculator? Just calculate how much is 350 divided by 365. How much percentage?
95%.
95%. Okay. So let us come to that level. And even if I am not speaking, I am very pleased with some of you, especially Dayashil Prabhu. He never misses classes. Never ever. Others also, Pradeep Prabhu and Ravindra Madhusudan Prabhu also. If you can continue this culture of Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya, definitely the material conditioning will be dissolved. And great amount of mercy will come. In our heart, what is the mercy? Mercy is attraction towards the process of Krishna consciousness. You'll always feel renewed enthusiasm to practice the process. And always there will be some joy in the heart. You'll be bubbling with joy, irrespective of whatever is the situation. Okay, we go ahead. So we see, yesterday we discussed the incarnation of Matsya. And Ganesh Prabhu, one sincere request to you, every day please post the class. Today again Gopal Prabhu told me that the class was not there. You did not share it?
Prabhuji, yesterday I shared, Prabhuji. In between class only I shared.
I don't know why he sold that. You speak to him and you tell him.
Yes.
For the class. He told me it was not there. So I said I will remind Ganesh Prabhu. So yesterday we read till the Matsya avatar. When there was complete inundation after the period of the Chakshusha Manu, and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of fish and protected Vaishwat Manu, keeping him up on the boat. That is the Matsya avatar. And in the final section of the Purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about that apart from this, the Lord, in order to show special favor to Satyavrata, a devotee of the Lord in this particular period, incarnated himself. Anyone who did research? Who is this Satyavrata? Such a special devotee that the Lord incarnated as Matsya avatar. To find out who is Satyavrata, and maybe if you find out from authentic sources, then please share tomorrow. We go to the next incarnation. Surāsurāṇām udadhiṁ mathnatāṁ mandarācalam dadhre kamaṭha-rūpeṇa pṛṣṭha ekādaśe vibhuḥ. Surāsurāṇām udadhiṁ. So when there was the churning of the ocean by the demoniac and the divine, by the asuras and the suras, by the demigods and the demons. So when that churning of the ocean was taking place, so the Lord appeared in the form of 11th incarnation, dadhre, ekādaśe, sorry, ekādaśe. Ekādaśe is 11th, the 11th day. The 11th incarnation of the Lord took the form of the tortoise, whose shell served as the pivot for the Mandarācala Hill. You all know the details, yeah? That both the divine and the demoniac, they wanted to have nectar, amrita. And how amrit was to be procured is by churning the ocean. But how to churn the ocean? You can churn up something which is within the pot or within the vessel or container. But how can you churn something which is as open and as vast as ocean? So Mandarācala Hill was brought. And when Mandarācala was placed in the ocean, if you place a piece of rock in the ocean, what will happen? It will sink. It will go down. So to prevent the Mandarācala from sinking, the Lord accepted the incarnation in the form of tortoise. And it became the foundation. So the Lord was floating in the ocean as a tortoise incarnation, and Mandarācala was on the top of his shell. You know, Krishna has given the analogy of the tortoise in the Bhagavad Gita. We have discussed that verse. Anyone remembers? Yatha samharate chayam kurmo angani sarvasha indriyani indriyarthebhyo tasya pragya pratishthita. So the shell of the tortoise is so strong that if you try to hit it with all the force, there is no impact. Even if the elephant tries to trample it by standing on that tortoise, small, 6-inch tortoise, even if the elephant tries to trample it below its leg, it cannot do any harm. So that is the strength or the extent of tortoise. So it is compared to one whose intelligence is fixed. So it is not distracted. So here the Lord assumed the form of tortoise so as to be able to bear the weight. Just imagine what would be the weight of the gigantic hill called Mandarācala. So Mandarācala was used as the churning hill, not the rod. Yashoda Mata had churning rod. But the ocean was churned by the Mandarācala Hill. And for the Mandarācala Hill to have foundation, not to sink down into the ocean. Like we saw in the second incarnation as Vamana, what happened to the earth? That it went into the nether regions. It sank in the water. And the Lord had to appear in the form of Varaha to rescue it, to restore it. So the Mandarācala Hill, not to sink in the ocean, the Lord assumed this form, this unusual form of a tortoise, the Kurma Sharira. A very beautiful composition of Srila Jayadev Goswami. You all know the famous Jayadev Goswami. So he begins by these avatars, the Matsya avatars and the Kurma avatars. That is what his glorification is of the Dasha avatars. So for the Matsya avatar, he has composed this verse. Pralaya prayodhi jaledhar ritavanasi vedam vihita vahitra charitamakhedam keshavadhrita meena sharira jaya jagadish hare jaya jagadish hare jaya jagadish hare. O Keshav, the Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you have assumed the form of a fish. All glories to you, you easily acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish, just to give protection to the Vedas. So the purpose was that during the realm of Vaivashvat Manu, as it is being mentioned here, so there was a great devastation of water and everything was inundated. Pralaya. And how the pralaya was done by Vayodhi, by inundation of the water. So the Lord assumed the form of a gigantic fish to give protection to the Vedas in the form of a boat, like a boat. And the second incarnation, this incarnation is Shitira Iva Vipulatare Tishthati Tava pṛṣṭhe Dharani Dharanakina Chakra Garishte Keshavadhrita Kurma Sharira Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare. So this Kurma Sharira, Keshavadhrita, the Supreme Lord Keshava, he assumes the form of Kurma, tortoise. And what is the purpose? Is Dharani Dharana. O Keshav, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you have assumed the form of a tortoise. All glories to you. In this incarnation as the divine tortoise, the great Mount Mandara rests upon your gigantic back as the pivot for churning the ocean of milk. Not an ordinary ocean, the ocean of milk. Our mind and intelligence get bewildered. Where is the ocean of milk? From holding up the huge mountain like a large scar-like depression is put on your back. So Srila Jayadev Goswami, who can enter the Leela, He's saying when this Mandarācala Hill was, held on the back of Kurmadev, so there was a large scar-like impression. You understand a scar? Like impression on your back, which has become most glorious. So this is the incarnation of Kurma Sharira. So the 11th incarnation of the Lord took the form of a tortoise, whose shell served as a pivot for the Mandarācala Hill, which was being used by the churning rod by the theists and atheists of the universe. Once both the atheist and the theist were engaged in producing nectar from the sea, so that all of them could become deathless by drinking it. This has been the cherished desire of every mortal being. What is the most cherished desire? That he can live forever. At that time, but the problem is this living being is inevitably eternal. But due to conditioning and due to wrong identification, he is thinking that he takes birth and he will die. So at the time of Mandarācala Hill was used as the churning rod, and the shell of Lord Tortoise, the incarnation of Godhead, became the resting place pivot of the hill in the seawater. So this is the 11th incarnation, ekādaśe, of Kurmadev. Then the next incarnation, Dhanvantaram dvadasha mamam trayadosham mama evacha apayayat surāsurāṇām mohinya mohayan striya. Then the next incarnation, dvadasha mam. Dvadasha mam. Instead of saying dvadasha, it is being said Dhanvantaram dvadasha mam. So the 12th incarnation is the Dhanvantari incarnation. Very interesting. This is all in connection with the churning of the ocean. From the Kurmadev, the next incarnation, what was the purpose of the Kurma avatar? Is to facilitate the churning of the ocean so that nectar can be received. So how that nectar was received is through Dhanvantari. That is the next incarnation. The 12th incarnation of Lord appeared as Dhanvantari. And the 13th incarnation, in the 13th, he allured the atheist by the charming beauty of a woman and gave nectar to the demigods to drink. So 11th ekādaśe is Kurma, and Dvadash Mam, here this being said Dvadash Mam, is Dhanvantari, and Trayodash Mam is Mohini Murti. The incarnation of the Lord that bewildered the atheist or the demons. Prabhupada does not give any purport to it. So Dhanvantari is the one who appeared with the nectar from the churning of the ocean. And whom he handed the nectar? He handed the pot of nectar to Mohini. This is another incarnation of the Lord in the form of bewildering. She bewildered completely. She captivated and bewildered the atheist. And she gave all the nectar to the devatas, to all the demigods. And the next incarnation is the ferocious incarnation. Chaturdasham narsimham bhibhadra daitendriyam urjitam dadhre karajairura erakam katakridyatha. Chaturdasham is the 14th in the line, is Narasimham, the incarnation of the Lord as half man and half lion. And What is the purpose? The purpose is to kill the very gigantic atheist called Hiranyakashipu. Hare Krishna. In the 14th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Narasimha and bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakashipu. What is the Narasimha prayer? He bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakashipu with his nail. बोलो क्विकली, पूरी नरसिंह आरती बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है.
प्रभुजी, दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम्.
Yeah, Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhringa. So this was the purpose, that he bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakashipu with his nails, just as the carpenter pierces the cane. Again, Prabhupada is not giving any purport to it. The very, very extraordinary part of Lord Narasimha's incarnation is just he appeared for one devotee, one pure devotee, that is Prahlad. In that incarnation, he did nothing else. He just appeared to protect Prahlad, paritranaya sadhunam and vinashaya chadushritam. And he bifurcated the chest, Tanubhringam, of Hiranyakashipu. So, how much Lord protects his devotee, and how much Lord can go to any extent to serve his devotee, we see in the case of Arjuna and Krishna, that Krishna becomes the chariot driver. But see what Krishna becomes to protect Prahlad. He assumes the half man, half lion body. So who is that devotee who will not believe in protection of Krishna? Who will not depend on Krishna? Krishna is setting up so many examples that to protect his devotee, he can go to any length, any extent, if that devotee is dedicated. Yesterday we were discussing the term Ananya. Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityasha tasyaham sulabha partha. Krishna is very sulabha. It's very easy to achieve or attain. We go to the next incarnation. Panchadasham vamanakam kritva gad adhavaram bale padatrayam yachamanaha pratyaditshu pṛṣṭapam. So the Panchadasham is the 15th incarnation, is Vamanakam. Vaman. Lord appears in the form of Vaman Deva. And he appears in the sacrificial arena of the great king Bali Maharaj. Bali here it is King Bali. And what he does in that assembly, he asks for alms of 3 footsteps. Padatrayam yachamanaha. Yachamanaha. Yachamana is that he begs for the land which is equivalent to 3 footsteps. In the 15th incarnation, the Lord assumed the form of Brahman Vamana and visited the arena of sacrifice arranged by Maharaj Bali. Although at heart he was willing to regain the kingdom of the 3 planetary system, he simply asked for a donation of 3 steps of land. Very beautiful verse, which says, Chalayasi vikramane bali madhbhuta vaman पदनख नीरज नित जन पावन केशव धृता वामन रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. So Chalayasi, Jaydev Goswami is glorifying that why he took this form of a drop Brahman, just to cheat. Chalayasi Vikramane Balim Adbhuta Vaman. So he assumed the form of a drop, wonderful drop Brahmana. By your massive steps, you deceive King Bali. And by the Ganges water that has emanated from his nails of your lotus feet, you deliver all living beings within this world in the form of flowing Ganges. It is Charana Sidhu. Dekhiya Ganga, Charana Sidhu. Charana Sidhu Dekhiya Ganga. So he assumes the form of a Brahmana and he begs alms for 3 footsteps and he conquers the 3 planetary systems. The Almighty God can bestow upon anyone the kingdom of the universe from very small beginning. And similarly, he can take away the kingdom of the universe on the plea of begging a small piece of land. Once one of my godbrother is very famous, a big celebrity. He was sharing that after his success, he went and met Guru Maharaj when he became very popular. So Maharaj told him that it is, only the grace of Lord that there is success. And within a stroke, within just a small, slight variation, all success can be snatched at one moment. It can be snatched at one moment. You know about whom I am talking? He personally told me. And he is experiencing that in his life now. He is personally experiencing it. Although we are praying for him because he is in very difficult times. So never ever assume that what is coming is because of one's own ability or intellect. It can be taken away, it can be snatched at any moment. And here we see the form of Lord Vamandev. Actually, he did not snatch. Bali Maharaj was very, very devoted. A devotee of the Lord. The Lord wanted to glorify Bali. What is Bali Maharaj famous for? Which limb of bhakti? What is the limb of devotional service Bali Maharaj represents? Yes, Dayashil Prabhu? Yes, Atma Nivedanam. He offered himself, Atma Nivedanam. He offered his life and soul. When Lord Vamandev, he covered everything within the 2 steps. And then he questioned Bali that you gave me 3 steps of land. 3 steps. Land for 3 steps. In 2 steps, everything is covered. Where should I place my 3rd step? And Bali Maharaj very humbly bowed down and said, on my head, my dear Lord, I offer everything of mine to you. I dedicate myself to you. And after snatching away everything and insulting him, even having him tied by the pash. So Brahmaji appears. Very beautiful section of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. When we will come there, maybe it will take time. It is in the later part of the Bhagavatam. So Brahmaji came there and he questioned Lord Vishnu that, my dear Lord, why you are tying up? When he has given you everything voluntarily, he has dedicated himself to you, then where is the need for you to tie him up? He is already all yours. Very, very sensitive part of exchange which is there. And then the queen of Vamandev, mother, she speaks. And she said that, my dear Lord, whatever you have done to chastise him or to tie him up is very appropriate. Because Bali Maharaj was thinking that this land belongs to him. He was thinking that he is the king. So whatever punishment you have given to him is very appropriate. I remember that was one of my first Bhagavatam sessions I was hearing from His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj in Noida temple. I had come very new. And while speaking this section, Maharaj became overwhelmed. His voice choked up and tears started to flow down from his eyes uninterruptedly. He could not speak after that. He was very much, and he had entered the Leela. I was quite distant. I was spellbound by Maharaj's explanation. And then what Lord Narayan or Lord Vishnu says, he benedicts Bali Maharaj and says, I will give you the land which is million times more than the opulence of Indra. I'll give you the Sutal Loka, which is million times more prosperous. And no demon can enter your place, so I will become the watchman. I will stand at the door of your lok and no demon can enter to disturb you. So if we give little to the Lord, what he gives in return, it is unimaginable. Unimaginable. I had little experience of this here. I was insisting to have flower decoration because turnout on 1st of January is the maximum. And none of the temple management were agreeing. They were saying, no, we don't have money, this and that. Yesterday it was 1,44,000 people. I just got the report. Amazing. Unbelievable. I mean, after Janmashtami, this would be the heaviest crowd ever recorded. But when I was insisting, they told me, if you are so keen, then you pay. You pay from yourself and you sponsor it and you get the flower decoration done. I said, okay, don't worry. We'll get it done. And they told me at 10 in the morning, 10 a.m., flower market operates between 3 a.m. to 7 or 8 a.m. Because we decided that we will not close the temple on Sunday, that was 31st, because of the crowd, and we will not close the temple on 1st, which was Monday. And Devashish knows. So I went to the market at 11 in the morning. And between 1 to 3, I had to decorate. We got the flowers, all colors. I had never got such flowers, such colorful flowers and such fresh flowers. And believe me, at the lowest rate ever. Never ever we got such beautiful flowers at such low rate. And within 2 hours, our flower decorators, they decorated all the 3 altars. I went at the altar at 4. It was all done. They were cleaning. I said, very good. Excellent. The only problem is little bit of desire should be there to do. It is already done. We have to do nothing. We just have to be agreeing. That's all. A little bit of agreement is that Krishna bestows everything else. But the jiva is so stubborn in his sense enjoyment that he is still not willing. And yesterday we had our highest ever recorded sale from Snacks Bar. I sponsored it from Snacks Bar. Of course, as a brahmachari, I don't have no money. So I sponsored it from Snacks Bar. And the turnout was so huge and gigantic that, so if you give, if you offer to Krishna, you can never ever have anything less. And one of the greatest example is Bali Maharaj. He gave his kingdom and Krishna rewarded him by giving the lower planetary systems of Sutal. And then he also promised him that in the next Manvantar, you will become the king, because he had that desire to defeat King Indra. So the Lord coronated him that he will be the next Indra. So if you see, whenever there is any puja or any anushthan or any yagna, you will see that the Brahmins or the Purohit or the Pandit, they will recite the verse mentioning the glories of Bali Maharaj. You know that they wrap that round thread in the hand when there is some anushthan. I'm not remembering the verse now, but they will always glorify by wrapping the thread on the hand by reciting the glories of Vaman Dev. Because every Brahmana is thinking that you can become Vaman for him, you can become Bali for him, to award him whatever he desires. But I don't know about Brahmanas. Can they reciprocate like what Lord did? Very glorious, so this incarnation. So Lord came as Vaman Dev. Why? What was the purpose? Just to glorify his devotee. You see, in the case of Prahlad Maharaj, just to protect him, still he did something else. What was that? He killed Hiranyakashipu. But here, as Vaman Dev, he assumed the gigantic form. He expanded himself and he covered the three planetary systems just to place his feet over the head of Bali Maharaj and glorified him. No, time is up. It is 12 past 9. So when we will come into that section, I think Mother Sulochana, the name of Bali Maharaj's wife is Sulochana. So Prahlad Maharaj is the forefather of Bali Maharaj. He appears, Brahmaji appears, and both of them are questioning the Lord. Why have you captured him? Okay, you have captured him, that's okay. You have taken away all the possessions from him, and he has never ever, he has not resisted. He is willingly offering to you. Then why you are tying him up by the Nag Pash? What is the need? And that Bali Maharaj, Vidyavali, sorry, that is the name, Vidyavali. Vidyavali Devi speaks. And she points out the fault of Bali Maharaj. That he was assuming himself to be the proprietor. Although the lands belong to you, the kingdom belongs to you. So whatever you have punished him is very just for him. Like you will see if you will read Ramayana, when Lord Ram slains Ravana. So Mandodari is very much appreciating what Lord Ram did. That Ravan deserved to be punished. And you have very aptly punished him. But the Lord never takes away. He is Hari. He takes away all our distress. So the 15th incarnation is the Vaman Dev. We will continue tomorrow, Krishna willing. Keep writing, keep reading. What we have to change? We have to change the nature of our mind. You have to change the conditioning of our mind. Our thinking, our feeling, and our willing. If the subtle body changes, the gross body will also change. There will no more be any gross body. And if the subtle body does not change, then there will be only dehantara. There will be only antara of the deha. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What about book distribution? Those who have not done their score, what are they thinking? That I have forgotten. I have not forgotten. So please put your effort. Put your effort at least. Whether the result comes or not, that is not in our hand. But put your best effort. Speak. Try to reach out to people, meet them. Try to invite them to take this offer. Whether they take or not, that is up to them. But you please put your effort. The last week, almost the last week. After 15th, we won't be doing. We will close it by 15th. And I'm running still at least 25% short. So far, I have come to 75%, 7,500 Bhagavad Gita. Another 2,500 is remaining. So all those who have promised to help and have taken pledge, try to fulfill. Try to fulfill as far as possible. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.